before we get to the team up north, um, Kevin Warren addressed diversity and inclusion, of course, expansion and realignment. Those were the two main themes that come to mind for me. When Steve had the mic, I know you wanted to get some figures out of him, Steve. You wanted to get some dollar figures out of this Los Angeles coup that they were able to deliver.
Yeah, I mean, I took a shot, whatever. I said, if you want to ballpark us, it's fine. We'll take a ballpark figure. What I was angling for is why was this such a great deal for Purdue, Illinois, Ohio State, all the old guard, the existing Big Ten, and even Nebraska, Maryland, and Rutgers? Why was this such a no-brainer to fly athletes in all these sports all over the country? Barry Alvarez got up on the dais and spoke yesterday for about a half hour, and he had some very illuminating things to say. He said each of these schools in the Big Ten averages 24 sports. Ohio State's got 36, I believe, that they sponsor varsity sports in. And it's funny, we were looking at USC's program, and obviously they've got a great baseball program. We were joking that the baseball standings in the future will read USC, UCLA, and then everybody else. And I think it was Kevin or somebody. We were sitting, maybe it was Dave, my buddy Dave Biddle. We're sitting in one of the places reading what the future Big Ten champions list will look like on an annual basis. USC, UCLA, USC, for baseball. But because they could play it year round and nobody else in their league can. So, but again, you can put that in a thimble and that'll tell you what it means in the overall picture of why they did this. And they did it so that each of the existing schools will probably realize an increase of anywhere from $5 to $20 million a year additional on top of what they're already making. And of course, they're also on the cusp of having this new television deal that we could learn about theoretically any day. I mean, they could come out and say, whatever year this ends, I think their first Michigan game was 17, I think, because the 16 game was on ABC or ESPN or ABC. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Well, maybe does it kick in next year? I don't know. Yeah, this must be the last year of the deal. So they got to announce that, I think, here in the next few weeks, what they're going to do starting forward with that. And it sounds like, you read all the tea leaves that Fox is like, they may change their name to Big Ten. That's how embedded they are with the Big Ten. Fox, and then CBS could be a part of this, which would be, great for me because our company is owned by CBS. We might get a little home field advantage a little bit out of that. Big Ten Network will obviously continue to be a part of it. The question is whether ESPN is going to be a part of it. And then there'll be a streaming component. Amazon or Apple or somebody may get a weekly game, maybe a Friday one-off game every week or something. I mean, now you're going to have weeks where you'll have as many as 8 Big Ten conference games being played in some of these weeks, and those are all important matchups. I mean, I know Rutgers, Minnesota is not really all that important in the overall scheme of things, but from a conference standpoint, every game that's branded as a Big Ten game is an important telecast. And I think that they need to be handled and treated in a certain way. And I think that, I have no doubt that whatever this new deal is when it kicks in is going to be, mega millions for these schools. And my last thought is if they had a deal in place or in principle that this 11th hour edition of USC and UCLA is caused Kevin Warren to go back and scribble in the margins in some red ink, we're going to need another $20 million for this.
Steve, it's not about the money. It's never been about the money. It's about the student athletes, and it's about the fans and the alumni being able to see games. That's all. You're tainting everything by talking about the money. Is the money nice? Of course, and it spends well. I do think it's interesting the once you have the LA market in, sure, that's good. But you'll have night games in November, which I think it will be good for the Big Ten as well. You can have night games all season long. We know right now in November, basically no Big Ten night games. So that's a month where you're not part of the primetime schedule. So you'll have Fox will probably have a 3-hour pregame by that point. So they'll start 9 in the morning, and they may have the nightcap at 10:30 or whatever. So you're going to have Big Ten football from 9 in the morning until 2 in the morning. However many Saturdays, 12 Saturdays, 13 Saturdays a year at that point. And that's, say what you want about Big Ten. That's pretty exciting for the conference, for alumni, where you're going to have 4 television windows and you can watch Big Ten football in every single one of them. And if you need a palate cleanser, you can go watch yourself some SEC football if you need. If you're not really into the Indiana-Rutgers matchup, go ahead and watch Alabama against Georgia if that's your cup of tea. For me in my house, we are watching Rutgers and Indiana. Thank you very much.